Hi, I'm the Wandering Newbie. It's time for more Record Keeper. Today, not dressed to the nines, which is still, it's not a bad name for an event. Actually, the more and more I see it, dressed to the nines is not a bad name. No, we have the final Torment. Instrument of Destruction. 13 has finally come around after Torment's being out for almost a year. About, I think we're rolling around to a year. Either way, boss this time around is Barthandalus, with all of his Barthandalus gimmicks. The only difference is Poldron and Alent are not vulnerable to the normal elements. They're just only take normal damage from lightning. So adjust, you know, as you see fit. Okay. Yeah, luckily I just have Edge's SSB, but that's for another time. Yeah, Dress to the Nines is just boring. We talked about it earlier before I actually got started up, but it's the fact that they didn't roll out the Sid missions. Like each of those dungeons was supposed to have a Sid mission associated to it. If you open up the Japanese page for Dressed to the Nines, or whatever it was called in Japan, there are like 20 Sid missions. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like, they were supposed to, you know, they started out with like very mediocre rewards on the easy things, but they were supposed to ramp up to like 4-star modes and 5-star modes. So that's why it seems underwhelming, because a lot of the rewards were in the Sid missions, and I'm just gonna keep slamming my keyboard against the table because that's good Foley work. Either way, 13 is one of my accidental very good realms. Don't know how it happened, but did. I got all the killers, so this is more of a victory lap, all things considered. The thing about the fact that the last one was 1, we're going 2 victory laps in a row here. I need a wall, Roaming Warrior, and I actually want Sentinels, because the animation is fast. I had a random thought the other day while discussing with somebody speedrunning stuff about how a speedrun, well, this wasn't what I discussed with them, but it is the thought that I had of sorry, there we go. Of a Record Keeper speedrun, and like I just had these thoughts with myself of like, how would that work? Like, obviously it's like fastest to completing the realm dungeons, right? You know, it might actually be more interesting when like the story mode is out, and then like, yo, we'd actually have a thing that has a finite end. Though that's still coming out too. Like, I don't know, I just got this thought in my head of like Record Keeper speedruns, and like, obviously you would always run on max speed. Like, that's the thing, like you'd have to learn to play at speed 5. Oh yes, I mean like, of course there are fights that have timers on them, but I'm talking like multiple things, like menuing across the game. Like that's what was interesting. That's what like really got it going for me. Anywho, here's the team. Lightning and Fang being my boss killers. There's no boost skill on this team. However, Lightning does have a plus 30 on her thing. And Reigns is gonna buff himself up plenty with his BSB, so we should be good. The real threatening thing, as always, is the start. Here. The trash. Well, I say real threatening, but bosses can be plenty scary themselves. And here I was worried that Reigns would not do enough damage. Reigns, in fact, does too much damage. Well, that's different. And let's get a couple more life siphons in. Yeah, I got Boone. Boone was the only 13 banner I've ever pulled on, actually. Yes. No, I've never pulled on a 13 banner other than that Boone banner, which got me Boone and Blitz. I believe? I might have gotten Blitz later. I know. It's one of the main reasons why I say, like, lucky draws are great. Also, save for festivals, because festivals have all the best stuff. No, oh, no Cosmic! No, the Wander Banner got you. The Wander Banner is also at the same times great and also trap. Do a damage there. Set that up. I'm trying to time the stat buffs as well as I can. So like I want a boon, I want a wall, I want to refresh Protectka. I'm gonna hit this life siphon. That should work there. I don't mind blinded by light. I just feel as though the startup is too long. That's my major issue with it. Alright. Possibly mistakes were made. We'll see. I fixed it. I extremely fixed it. Let's fuck him up. He doomed Reigns. You fool. You stupid idiot. You dumb motherfucker. Destroyed. Yeah, so this move right here is actually extremely rude. Without wall, I'd be taking somewhere up to... I think people have reported like 3K, 4K per hit with Baptism. It just hits extremely hard. Also, fuck yeah, that triple cast. Alright, better to just do that each turn. Yeah, that's Dove and then the record material she has equipped. Whoa! Move. I'm alright. They're fine, kids. Gotta keep everybody moving fast. So this is the other really big thing about Barthandalus and why he's so threatening to like a non-wall running party. Because remember, I have a dual break on him too right now. He goes very, very fast. Most of his actions are instant. However, dead. Extremely dead. The fuck needs OSBs? Yes! Boon is Shelga plus Haste. I always say the thing that Saz is extremely, reverse red. A lot of, except for the one attack boost that Saz gets, but then again I think red gets one magic boost as well. A lot of Saz's things lean towards magic and a lot of red's things lean towards attack. to the point where I think they have the opposite USB, where it's the mag, 2 defenses, and then a Astra. Or attack, 2 defenses, and an Astra. There we go. Yeah. 13 really doesn't stay to one element like a lot of other ones. Like, 6 is really fire-based. 4 is actually kind of all over. Not 4, 5. 8 is obviously ice. 7 is kind of wind, but has a mixture of earth in there too. 10 is water. There's kind of somebody for each element in 13, but there's also quite a bit of ice. Anyway, here's the Lightning team. You know them, you love them. You saw them for Mateus. They return again for Space Poke. The other thing that is extremely interesting about this fight is it's entirely damaged, which I think might be... Hold up, sorry, adjusting the headset. Why it caught so many people off guard is because... since it's entirely damage-based, like, he doesn't have any status effects, nor elemental attacks, they might have upped the numbers a bit, and that really caught people off guard. Like, even the jumpstart doesn't really have anything special outside of the other ones. It's just the fight again, except now you go fast. Oh, his Doom is 30 seconds and then jumpstart. Ooh, whoop-de-fucking do. I really don't see that tripping me up too much. Like, jumpstart, the whole thing is, you go fast now. Kill him good. Now, but time for the endurance run. Hold up. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Heave ho. God! Lightning, stop! You're gonna get in trouble! I mean, there is one realm that has a male healer. That's right, baby, the best realm. FF2. Alright, so that's going to be 2 waves right there with my good gal. Oh, right, 12 does have a male healer. I always forget that Larsa is a healer. Go figure. The good boy. Sure, I don't waste any of that BSB. I mean, even if they do give Minwoo holy magic stuff, there is no other healer for 2. It's going to be him. If you're running a Sid mission, it's going to be Minwoo. Okay, so now this is the wave where I'll go slower near the end. Because this is 3, and then 4 will have her do that to clear out 4. That thing, so it can't counter. Perfect. Oh, these poor children. They don't even know what harm awaits them. Destroyed. Ooh, big boy. Though Shout will be wearing off soon. Lasted me a good bit though, thanks to buff duration increase, aka a good dive. A good dive is a good boy. We got a wall up. Excuse me. This will be good for clearing the final wave. Yeah, so he's got that up, so it's just a matter of punching this boy. Whoop! It'll be dead. Whew. Oh wait, no, I wanted to actually do that. Oh well. We'll be a little bit behind then. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Wait for those bars to be about halfway and downward. I miss Torments a little bit when they're gone. They got a little heady when they were doing them like every week, but after 15 of these, I've kind of gotten used to them, and I kind of like it. It's a fun little challenge of like endurance runs. Kind of grew on me. Alright, annihilate this boy, kill the party, debuff that one, jumps, But yeah, the new Torments won't be the same type of mission. That's the thing. New Torments are extremely different. Should I just fire off 2 just to kill the attachments immediately? Yeah, let's just go into next phase right a fucking way. All right, big boy. Get that full break off. Do I want to debuff magic or physical first? Magic. I don't think you use Thanatosine until later. No, wait, Destro. Destro's the move. Yeah, like I said with your boy here, really not too scary if you have resistance, because his whole big thing is that he hits very, very hard. So if you have a bit of a wall build up, not too scary. Especially if all he does is use his Ruin Guy. My dude, I know you have stronger moves. Not that I'm asking. New Magicite will be a damn thing. I've talked about this briefly before. I don't know when. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as the Prisoner. I don't know when I'll actually get around to doing videos of New Magicite. Mainly just because I know I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. That's the thing. They're extremely hard and hate me. But do know it is on my mind, and as soon as I have, teams that can clear each of them, because I want to get them all in one lump sum, I will be doing a video slash stream. Yeah, there we go. There's that damage. Hell yeah. Yeah, see, now he is just going entirely too fast. Welcome to the boy. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Lightning's USB is a fantastic tool. It's amazing. It's really good. I was wowed when it first came out, and now that I actually own it, it's super fantastic. Okay, one more. So I don't have, obviously, now that I had learned and understand Torments, these videos have gotten a little shorter. But we're not done. As soon as I clear this last one, I'm going to have Krumb on for a little bit to discuss dives, because I've gotten to the point where I have about 500 of each mote, and that's entirely too much to be hoarding. So we are going to look at a couple characters that are very strong now for me, and we are going to do some dives on video. I figured that would be the best way to save it. After that one and seeing how fast I kind of went through everything, yeah, I'm going to slap that Northern Cross on there, just in case. And, you know, just double in case, let's get some Dragoon jumps on Kane. A Northern Cross does 4 hits now, it's good. Now, while Krumb and I discuss general, for me, dives, because that is the main point here, is I want to sit down and have a talk with him about my dives, and figured, fuck it, let's do it on stream, because that'll be fun to watch. Feel free to ask, like, hey, I got this and this, should I dive X person? The one word of warning, I am very biased towards not Shulk, because while it is a safe dive, I feel like diving a character that you have nothing for, just for speedrun purposes, is a little silly. That said, she's not a bad character. I don't know. I use the Onion Knight to entrust, because I have stuff for the Onion Knight. That's my thing. Like, you can point at any 5-star support and say, I'll use them for entrusting instead, because I have something for them. Like, yes, she'll go fast. That's the thing. The only reason to dive Shulk is to speedrun. That's it. Anybody else can do entrust bot. She just goes fast. She does it sooner. That's the only thing that she does. Furthermore, there's a character coming down that we should get, because that game was released in America, from Final Fantasy Dimensions 2, called Morrow, who does the exact same thing as her. Except I think he has night access. We just haven't gotten those characters yet, because I don't know, they're waiting to do it. Same reason that we haven't gotten Meiya. Well, hold the dive talk until we hit that phase. I got another fight to do. Okay, speedrun time. Wait. Yeah, let's be smart here. Here I go yelling again. "2K, resisted. Strongly disagree." Just wait 30 minutes, you're gonna die. We're getting there. Whoops, that's not the button I meant to hit. Oh well, so be it. Now they're good. Now they're better. They cast better spells now. Kane got the second lightning chain. And it's extremely good. If you've never seen the animation for Kane's lightning chain, do yourself a favor and go watch it. God. Damn protect. Blocking all my big numbers. Oh, second wave lightning chain. Okay. It's very hard to think and do this stuff. Destroy. Don't even get a chance. Your barrier is down. No, my invincible barriers. Sorry, I got confused when there was somebody without a burst command. Yeah, they'll be fine. I was right, actually. Go figure. Reigns. God, you didn't bring any buffs for me? Fine. I guess I'll just do the damage myself. Yeah, Titus is a good dive. Extremely good. Oh right, I have other spells that actually do more damage. I forget these things. I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing Reigns. I just do his command 1, right? That's how you do damage as Reigns? No. He has, in fact, other moves. Lord, you are fast. Please calm down. I'm gonna hold that thought. Now it's needed. It's cute. He thought he could do damage. I say no. Absolutely no. Not in my house. 7K! Go home, Bart. And that's the end of current Torment. Okay. Let's transition into our next video. Section thing. Yes, modes. Good. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hi.
Hello.
I'm stupid. I'm in stream chat. I know, I saw your name pop up earlier. No, I'm in your stream chat. Oh. That one.
That's fine. Is it time to talk about how you're going to make a lot of really good decisions?
Air quotes, good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as said before, if you're conflicted on a dive choice, you can speak up in the chat. We'll give our insight into it. But we're not.
Mine is always wrong.
Yeah, we're not going to be going over everyone because that would take forever. But yes, this is the reason why I'm pulling in Krumb to talk about this. Because I have about 500 of each 5-star modes. And that's too much. That's too much.
So how many supports have you dove fully?
Rasma.
Okay. I think you should dive Shelky.
No.
I think it's Shelk, actually.
Shakel.
All or dumb?
You had to get that one in there, didn't you?
I've been waiting.
Okay. Shelk is one syllable. It is Celtic. Celtic. Celtic.
Right, while you're getting stuff set up and such, there was a question in the chat saying that one person has Edge's SSB. I'm guessing it's the Super SSB and not his other one. Yuffie's Legend Materia Record and USB, and Shadow's BSB. Which ninja should I dive? I agree with other people in the chat who are saying Shadow. Edge's SSB is really, really good.
Yuffie's USB doesn't help her do damage. Meanwhile, Shadow's BSB in Dark Sound.
Yeah, and there are a lot of Shadow-based ninja moves, I believe. Dark-based, excuse me. A handful. There's a couple.
Yes, they're of the combo ninja moves. Those exist.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's probably your best option.
So, maybe it would be best if we start from my relics, because that'll give us insight of who to go to from there.
Okay.
So I'm going to sort Soul Breaks by USB, and luckily you have a handy little spreadsheet you can look at that is entirely
Right, I should
updated.
probably pull that up. That thing that we used so that this is easy.
So, Lightning is a very strong choice on this list.
I would say she's at the top of your list.
Top or second place?
Yeah.
Because your boy's over here.
There's a lot of boys. Well, you have Barsis Ultra. That's like an auto dive. It's just too much damage. Now let me rephrase this. That's an auto dive for most people. I don't know if it's an auto dive for you because you don't use ultras that often on stream and such.
Yeah. I don't know. What do I have for
I still think
Noctis?
it's worth it because you could use him to dual cast stuff.
What do I have for Noctis is just SSB and BSB, which is okay.
That's really good.
I know. But it's... I question dive worthy.
Well, Noctis and Lightning have the same end goal, which is
Go fast.
the super go fast. They start with haste and have 3 instant cast moves.
The thing is, it doesn't... For what I use Noctis for, that doesn't help him go fast in that regard, because his SSB is an instant cast. The only thing
Fair.
that allows him to do is life siphon a couple times up.
Yes.
Yes, it increases his damage, though. There is that. So we should also mention for DPS, I have Vaughn, Reigns died right now. Supports just Rasmo, and for heals, Vanille and Yuna.
Because you have Von dived, I would not dive Noctis because both of them fill the same niche, which is non-elemental damage. And you have a lot of stuff for Von. Like, a ton of stuff for Von.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to necessarily dive Noctis right away. He's not a bad pick, but since you have so much stuff for Von and they fill the same spot, you wouldn't have to worry about it. I think you should dive Bart's.
Yes. Bart's
It's
and
just-
Lightning, I think, are on the good list right now.
I would recommend, this is my general preference. Other people, you can chime in however you please. I like having at least one person each element who is Dove, so that you have that person for Magicite stuff, or for whenever you have, like, this boss is weak to this element, you can pull that person in as your trump card.
Which is why, when we were discussing this offline, I suggested Agrius for me. Because
I don't think she's the best option for holy damage. She's very good for setting other people up, but you should go for somebody else who is pure holy based. You don't need to worry about holy damage though, because you've got Sid Reigns.
The problem is, for Magicite, I use a physical team, because I have
Okay.
a Warrior of Light.
Yeah, don't dive the Warrior of Light. I would hold off on any... The only knights you should really be diving for damage and such would be Beatrix and Marsh, because they get double cast.
Well, I do have Marsh's BSB.
That's an option, but that BSB, it deals damage and does have the attack mind booster on it, so I would consider it, but other people should come first, because even though you have other people you would use for, hold on. Sorry, you have Sid Reigns for things outside of Magicite, he can still cover a lot of bases.
Would Beatrix, BSB, and OSB be diveable as people in the chat responded, yes. Her BSB is a very good in peril, and OSB is just pretty good damage. But the big thing is that her dive gives her dual cast, which doesn't necessarily require a ton of good breaks. And when her USB comes out, I hate to say go for one relic, but maybe pull on that banner.
That's a good banner either way.
Yeah. It will complement her very well. Now, okay. I believe, yes. Let us go for lightning. Lightning really has become my main lightning damage dealer. With the addition of that USB.
It's in the name.
I really, it fucks with her dive, but I really hope they find some way down the line to give her 6-star Spellblade. Because with the addition of, like, the Water Lightning 6-star, and eventually there is going to be a 6-hit 6-star, she is not going to have access to those.
Nope. They'll eventually have that happen, so I can almost guarantee it because she's so popular. So give it time.
Maybe you can look this up for Kite in the chat. What is Braska's dives? I cannot remember. Is it dual cast summon?
I will look that up right now. I know there are a couple dual cast summoners out there. There's Rydia is one of them, and I know that Al gets it here in a little bit.
Which is what I'm like. I'm not really diving anybody for win because I'm going to be diving Al.
As much as I'd love to dive Al for all that stuff, my physical wind is quite potent. So,
whereas I have Al and Fujin.
I also have Al and Fujin. That's the problem.
Well, I don't have a lot of physical.
Braska's is a moderate chance to double cast summon abilities. So, if you have a lot of things for Braska, might not be a bad idea.
3 supers and a BSB is a pretty good reason to dive. I believe one of those is like a Hastalia magic boost too, or like a quick cast magic boost.
It's one of the 3. The only thing I hesitate on with magic is what you're going to be using that summoner for. Is it going to be for magicite fights? Is it going to be just for general clearing and stuff? Because summons are good for the AoE damage. They're not exactly the best option for single target damage.
Well, if I remember,
they can do it right, but
if I remember correctly, his BSB is a very potent fire attack.
I think it's fire wind or something like that.
No. He's like fire, lightning, non-elemental, and all this stuff.
Gotcha.
Because he's always Ifrit, Ixion, and Bomb.
Ifrit, Ixion, and yeah, gotcha.
Alright, so that's lightning done. Let's get a look at that. Oh, well, she also has all of her stuff on, but
she's fancy.
Can I see sphere skills? There we go. No. Oh, well, close enough. It's good. It's a good boost. It's a good boost.
So I noticed a couple people as you're going through there when we had your ultra thing. One person I would suggest you don't dive is Refia.
Oh, is her dive bad?
Her end skill is very poor. It's a thing where she can make her next attack have a lot more attack on it. And by doing so, it looks like it's supposed to be really good, but it's attack, not damage. So she's not actually getting much out of it because she's probably going to be hitting the attack cap once she's in burst mode or have a couple buffs on her. So she doesn't get much out of the dive. Yeah, so she's good to go as is. Unless you want to go pull for her dual cast fire ability, which is her legend materia record. By the way, for the chat, I'm going to switch between using the phrase Legend Materia Record and Legend Record Materia because I think Legend Record Materia sounds better. Just know that I mean the same thing.
And we should just agree upon the phrase Relic Materia.
Yes, whatever. There's a lot of phrases we'll use as we go through this. We're meaning the same thing.
Yeah. Is there a good Ice Mage to dive? I believe Adia gets dual cast Ice.
No, she gets Witch.
Oh, does she get dual cast Witch? Bleh.
Lulu is the dual cast Ice Mage.
There you go.
However, Lulu's one of those, you go dual cast Ice if you get her USB, and that's about it.
Because Lulu's DSB it's okay, but it's not.
It's a workhorse. It doesn't have an N element attached to it, so it's not as good as you'd think for doing pure ice damage.
A lot of the time, deciding on a dive except for situations like Bart's, where his USB is ridiculous, it is, do you get an element? Or another example of like, there's a few like broad rules of thumb, like in elements are very strong for dives, and the like. Dual casting is very strong for dives, but there are, I guess it does fall into dual casting, but like Rain's BSB is a reason to dive Rain's. That's it. Just having his BSB. As a matter of fact, that's all I have on Rain's, and I dove him because it's just that strong. Another one that you and I discussed, and I think now is the time to bring it up, is ninjas. Because the water banner was very good for me. And here's a very good example of what we were talking about. So, in both of these, the water banners, I pulled the BSBs for Yuffie and Edge. Now, they have very, very similar dives. In fact, actually, very similar, but a little different. In fact, Yuffie's is better. Yuffie's dives are better because in her dives, she has a 9% increase to ninja damage, and a water up and a ninja dual cast.
Yep.
Whereas, not a hard condition to hit a lot of the time, especially for me who is drowning in katanas. But Edge, on the other hand, has a 9% up to katana damage, and then a 10% water dual cast ninja. But in this situation, with what I fell into, Yuffie's BSB in perils, Edge's BSB in elements.
If you want water damage as a ninja, I would go with Edge over Yuffie.
Yeah.
Right now, this is an important thing. In about, 3 months, we're getting the new Soul Break things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of her things that she's getting, which is the Flash, it's called Flash in Japan, I don't know what it'll be called here, half break thing, whatever, gives her N water and 2 blink stacks, correct?
Yes, it is pretty much set up for that. So if you fall into her Flash break, it's fucked up that a break that uses half a break bar is a reason to dive her. Because it's just, she instant casts into an element with 2 blink stacks and is ready to go.
Or it's either an element or she gets a big ninja damage boost, one or the other. Anyway, the point is it's really good. Any case, now I'm going to specify something here for Newbie. I think either way, Yuffie or Edge would be a good candidate for him to dive here, because he has a lot of useful things for them. However, in Newbie's case, I think Edge is a smidge better. Don't think that the stuff that Newbie has for Yuffie is bad. It's just that Edge's stuff is just a smidge better in terms of pure damage.
Okay, it is blink and ninja damage up 9.
Okay.
Still. It's 2 blinks.
Still good, because that means she's more flexible in that case.
Right. Also, in a vacuum, you can go either way with just the BSBs. Unfortunately, I also fell into Edge's Relic Materia.
Yeah, what does that do again?
When he casts the ninja move, there is a chance that he mirror images.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And what with the new ninja moves being based on how many blinks you have in order to do stupid amounts of damage, that's kind of useful.
Mm-hmm. I've already tested him out without Legend Dive against Liquid Flame and was hitting 7k a hit. So with the
that sounds reasonable.
With increased, and that was before I mastered the move, so like he had lower attack and all that.
Yeah, the reason why we're making the case between Edge and Yuffie is they have the identical sets in the Legend Materia, all those fun stuff. Newbie just happens to have a little bit more stuff for edge in
Right.
terms of pure damage compared to Yuffie.
And again, going at it this way, because Edge and Yuffie are actually good dives, even if you like, kind of similarly with Shulk, even without anything for them, they're very good just for the dual cast Ninja, because Ninja is getting to the point where it's pretty powerful. I wouldn't say do it, because I would never recommend diving somebody without anything for them. But again, if you are looking at the two, I still say Yuffie is actually a better dive because she gets ninja boost as opposed to Edge's katana boost in a vacuum.
Oh yeah.
If you have BSBs for both, Edge is a better dive because he gets an element.
Again, at this point, I think the difference in damage now is enough to make it worthwhile. If we were like 2 weeks away from Yuffie's stuff popping up and the potential to get that stuff, I'd say hold off a little bit and then go for it. But you having a little bit of trouble over there, man?
What?
You're either it's me blinking in and out, or your channel's having a little bit of lag time.
That's you.
Okay, cool, Brad.
I'm
I'll turn off some things. Just gonna take care of that.
That's alright.
No, I just wanted to make sure it was me. There's it's thunderstorming outside in the middle of January, so it's a bit weird.
Ooh. Anyway, it's the apocalypse. That's our look at ultras with a little dive into edge. I do have Lunit's ultra, but
you just said you're going to be going Magic Wind.
Yeah, A, I'm going Magic Wind. B, I really don't like his dive. I know that they are supposed to be good, but I really do not like the instant cast and go fast at the beginning.
I think you need to get one or two of those people, and since you already have lightning, it lessens the effect of the others.
Right.
I think that you under strength that haste starting with 3 instant cast moves a little bit. I think it's much stronger than you think it is.
However, probably is.
If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I think you need to focus on picking up more pure damage first, and then go for the go fast people.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think the go fast abilities are some of the strongest legend material.
I'm not saying Lunith is shelved. I'm just saying, like, you know, as I stand right now, I'm definitely leaning more towards Magic Wind than Physical. Though I did get that chain and that BSB, but you know, we'll see where we go to from there. Let's take a look at not overstrikes, not chains really, no. Bursts.
Well, I'd start chains more than I'd strike bursts.
Okay. Whoops, that's mass lock. That's accessories. Nailed it. Okay.
I'm gonna say this right now. Ingus is off the table for diving. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Just nope. You don't have Zach's chain, right?
I do.
You do. Okay. You that's right. You have every chain ever.
I do. I think I'm missing like 3 chains.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No, it's more than that. But anyway, I don't think anybody on here is dive worthy. It may not even really like. I wouldn't dive Zach. You know.
What do you have for him besides his chain?
A unique.
Hmm.
Shanto does a decent dive. I just only have her chain.
Yeah. Shantota's dive is all about the witch damage, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and her ultra makes her double cast witch, I think. Yeah, it makes her auto cast witch abilities twice and uses 2
What do you
abilities.
have for Bart's? Why did you dive him? I have his USB. That's reason to dive Bart's.
See,
Here's
the reason why I'm hesitant about telling Newbie to do Shantoto dive is because Newbie already has someone who's lightning based in a dive. I suggest spreading the wealth on the elemental spread.
And here's the other thing. The reason that Shantoto dive isn't worth it for me is because my lightning magic is terrible. It's absolutely awful. My only lightning magic thing that is higher, well, outside of the chain, that is higher than an SSB is 1 BSB. That's it.
Who's that for?
Pollen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not even like a lightning-oriented BSB. It just has lightning in it.
It's a workhorse tri-element.
Yep. So, it's actually one of the more frustrating things for me personally is that, like, I go, yeah, I have this cool lightning chain that I can never really use because, you know.
I gotcha. Someone in the chat notes you have Kane's BSB.
I said magic-based BSB.
Yeah.
Or magic-based thing higher than a...
Magic-based lightning BSB.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep, and the chat brings up a good point, is that Shantoto doesn't have to necessarily be dealing 999 damage every single time, or even 4 9s as opposed to 3. She's just there to build chain, so she can do that for you if she wants to. So keep that on the back burner. Let's keep looking on other people.
The note is she can do that without being dived.
Yeah. I think her dive is a good option for you, but again, this is just going off of my preconceived bit. I like spreading out the elemental damage and not having it all in one set, because lightning is very much about the lightning damage, and you already have a lightning dealer.
You said Ingus is bad? I'm just going to take a look at it, because I'm curious.
Well, if would that you could dive him right now, but you can't.
Oh, right.
But eventually we'll be able to.
Locke's dive, I believe, is actually really interesting, because I want to say he gets dual cast fire.
I think Locke has a trance ability, actually.
Oh, right, it's... Yeah, that's what it is, it's a trance. Hold up, sorry, forgot that this is weird.
I do know, however, for people bringing it up, Ingus does have a dive eventually. He doesn't have a dive in the US version because we didn't get the Japanese event that had his dive in it, which was like a little mini event that happened.
I believe that's also the one that had the master in it.
Yeah, please keep bringing that up. The Ingus dive, I'm pretty sure, is a standard support knight thing where he gets like stuff like cover and stuff like that.
Oh, don't... Yeah, Strider, believe you me, my finger is hovering over Alphanod. As soon as
Al shows up.
Yeah, as soon as that event drops. I'm morbidly curious now. I'm going to take a look at Zach's dive. I don't think he's dive worthy for me, but now I am just...
I'm pretty sure Zach has the I'm gonna go fast startup thing.
That he does. Increased celerity damage too, which is like the main reason they made the wind celerity move.
Yeah, Zach's not a bad candidate for a dive.
Anywho, out of the chains, I don't. I think we can cross off Snow.
Yeah,
Snow has the Warrior of Light problem where I really don't like their dive because everything else about them is built to be sort of damagey. Like they do have like stuff in there like Last Stands and what have you, and giving the party HP shields, but then like their USBs are entirely damage based. And then
USB, yes. Warrior of Light's chain is defensive-esque.
Well, yes. As is Snow's. Snow's is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's just that their USBs are damage based, and like I have the Warrior of Light's USB, and then their dive is start the fight with Sentinel, which is good. It just doesn't help me with the USB.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Question from the chat. Do you have anything for Locke besides his chain?
I have
think
his
you have
BSB.
his BSB, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a solid place on my fire team with Rafa. God, I'm saying that wrong.
I think it's Refia.
Refia.
Okay. I think Locke's another one of those like potential jive people.
He's up there with Lunith. We'll think about it. Shall we look at BSBs?
Sure, go ahead.
There's a lot
Pull
here.
up this massive spreadsheet. For people who haven't heard us mumbling about this, Newbie and I and a couple other people, we all keep kind of a communal spreadsheet together that we can use to help each other like get stuff ready for fights and such. It's pretty helpful. I would recommend that anyone just throw all your breaks and everything onto a spreadsheet somewhere, divided by realm or element or whatever, just because it helps a lot in the long run.
The chat is somewhat aware of the spreadsheet. I spent a good deal of a stream hooting and hollering about the spreadsheet.
Yep, but there's people jumping in and out, so.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yes, anyone who sees his 5 chains, you can be upset about that. I'm pretty sure you picked up 4 of them in the festival that happened about a month ago. I'm still mad.
I don't think I got all 4 during the festival. All 4 of those?
You got a bunch.
I'm trying to remember which one I had beforehand. I definitely had Chantotos beforehand.
Yep.
And I got Ignis's off of the actual 3 banner that was introduced.
There you go.
I didn't get it from the festival. So BSB wise, I'm staring at this cloud thing here. But then again,
What do you have for him again?
I got his BSB during the festival.
Which one?
2. But then again, it's wind, and I'm going magic wind, so it's you know.
Are you going magic wind? I think you're really starting to make it like a really good like push towards you go Lunith and Cloud and Zac, and then you have a crazy strong physical wind team.
I think his dive is the dual cast physical, right?
Yeah, it's dual cast combat.
Mm.
I don't even know if you go Cloud. I think you just go Lunith and
I would
Zac and call it a day.
I would go Cloud before I went Zac.
If you have to make room for Magicite, again, I'm thinking Magicite reasons.
Right.
I would go those 2.
Dual cast combat, dual cast is command 1.
I know, which is why it's one of those like this is a hard pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying Cloud doesn't have a good dive. Cloud has a good dive, very good. It's just more a matter of who you're going to use in these things. If you're going to do Clive,
that's right.
I'm tired.
And
if you're going to do Cloud, then I don't think you need to do Lunith.
Oh, it's an attack booster proportional to number of attacks he takes. Because I have Gladio's BSB, which is also very strong.
Oh yeah, I got his BSB OSB combo. He's great.
Yeah, I got his BSB. I have an Earth Chain combo.
Yep.
I
just did a Hydra, and I almost got under sub 30 with just Ingus and Gladio dealing damage. Those 2 were obscene together.
He has a command 1 Earthbringer, and it's gross as shit.
It's a better Earthbringer.
Yeah, it does 7k a hit.
He hits 5 times.
Well, yes, Earthbringer gets upgraded eventually.
Eventually, but for right now, he wins.
Yes. It's good. His dive, I'm iffy on. It's an attack booster.
Oh no, I would not dive in 5-star. No, that's not worth it. Yeah, if you could find a way to get a haste into your wind team with Lunith, Cloud, and Zac, that would be an absolutely stupid team.
I mean, I could just bring Tyro and Roaming Warrior the 30 haste.
That's not a bad idea. And then Tyro does the Wrath and Trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there you go.
That's a thing to consider. That is a very strong...
Especially since you've got Tyro's hat. So, yeah, you might want to do that. I would put Luneth and Cloud higher on your list of people to dive.
So... I forget what hers is. Maria's, I feel like remembering, is pretty good. But her command 1 is only Earth, right? It's not Earth Fire.
Her command 1 is Earth non-elemental. Her command 2 is AoE fire or Earth Fire.
Okay, and yeah, it's not great. Increased magic, moderate amount proportional number of black magics to the caster has dealt.
Which is why I did not dive her. If hers had been double cast Earth, it would have been a completely different situation.
Vesha, her relic is double cast.
I have no idea. I wouldn't be amazed if it was, because, yeah.
Is Tifa worth a dive? Cannot remember what her dive is.
I'm always hesitant to tell people to dive people who were part of like the first generation of dives, because a lot of those first generation dives are not amazing.
You know, we were looking at, hey, do you have a support to dive? No, a second support? I do have dogs, BSB.
Which dog is in red?
Yeah, which is a 30-30 major regen.
I think his is the increase the duration thing, right?
It's either duration or stat debuffs. But the big thing, like...
stat buffs. His is the increase the duration of stat buffs. And reference to something in the chat, someone said, is Tifa worth a dive? Tifa's last skill is an ability where every so often she gets a thing where she reduces the cast time of, I think, the next 3 commands. So it can make her rev up and do a lot of things, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth the dive. If you had an Earth Chain, it might be worth it, but I don't know. I'd wait on that for right now.
I think you might be having a bit of a thunderstorm problem.
Am I breaking up a bit?
A tiny bit. I can still understand you, but you are...
Sorry.
Robotic. Yeah, it's very interesting. I think with a BSV and... You know, with you know, Monk has gotten good lately. That could be worthwhile. Now, Marsh. We were talking about Marsh before.
Okay.
The attack mine boost is very nice. 3 hit on command 1 with a night boost for 3 turns.
So, he's going to be your pure damage dealing holy type if you go this way. You're going to want to slap him with like the Divine Cross plus holy 4-hit combo, or in, was it 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now when we finally get the
Assault
Tactics
Saber.
event? You give him Assault Saber and you let him go to work.
Yeah, I think him and Warrior of Light can be a very potent combo. Because you give Warrior of Light the Guardbringer. You give him Guardbringer because his break does Sentinel, so he doesn't need to do an extra command. And then you give Marsh Assault Saber.
Okay.
You're actually better. You haven't been roboting for a bit.
Okay, well, if it gets worse, change the region.
Okay. Yeah, you just had a hiccup. What is Marsh's relic materia?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I know who I can ask about that, though. Yeah, I picked up March's USB plus BSB combo, so he's my best bud.
Yeah, his USB is almost an instant dive.
You know what? I'd actually say hold off on Marsh for a little bit because we're not going to be getting the Dark Magicite fights right off the bat. It's only the other 6 elements. So you really don't need to dive him right this second. It might be a couple months. Apparently his Legend Materia record is plus 25% night damage when equipped with swords.
I mean, that's also good. Yeah.
Which is dumb. Which is just dumb.
Yeah, that's super good. I still say he's dive worthy even without it because just dual cast Knight is very strong.
Oh, absolutely. But my point is, I don't think you need to dive him now.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't need to dive him now. It's just that I was saying to the person in chat who said only if you had the relic materia.
I think it's worth a hard look if you have his BSB, just because his BSB stacks with most attack boosters, and at the same time allows him to just go pretty heavy into damage.
I can bring him with Rasmo as an Entruster, and not have to, because I can bring Rasmo as an Entruster on a physical team. Normally I can't do that because I usually try and get both Shout and History's Truth up, so that everybody's hitting max. But with Marsh instead, I don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's been mentioned in the chat, what about Agrias compared to Marsh? I think, again, Agrias is there to set up other people in terms of holy damage. If you had her Legend Materia record, which is double cast Knight abilities, I would say pick her in a heartbeat, because double cast that, along with the Imperial commands, is that she's going to be making the enemies be very weak to holy damage very quickly. So anyone out there with her double cast, dive her.
So are we...
I say you don't need to dive Marsh right now. I say he's on the back burner. I think you're looking at right now between like Luneth and Cloud.
Okay. There's one more further breakdown I want to make.
Okay.
Just in regards to... Oh boy, I forgot about that boy. That boy. Though I don't think he has dives yet, but let's just take a look at that real fast. So, yes, he does not. This is for down the line. Larsa becomes very important in 4-star Magicites.
I'm pretty sure his dive is super good.
Yeah, I think his dive gives him double cast, which is the important thing for a healer. Is a healer dive worthy? Is a question that is answered by, is there double cast on their relic or not?
Double cast, or in the case of some people, quick ramp ups in terms of how much they're healing.
Yes.
Like Iris. Iris, I think, is dive worthy if you have her BSB.
Yeah. I think he gets diveable at the same time as... No, Vayne is already dive. Riddle me this, Vayne. What is your... Oh, why is it double cast offensive dark abilities? It's like, here's the best part. People are like, what was the thing? It was like 4-star Holy Magicite is very anti-dark, and it's like, well, here's the great thing about Vayne.
Dark mages against dark mages.
Against dark mages. And
if it was very against dark, I'd be wondering what am I supposed to do then?
Yeah.
Non-elemental damage?
Yeah, 4-star Holy Magicite is very rude to dark mages, and it's like, well, here's the great thing about Vayne. You can be either. I absolutely love the versatility of Vayne.
That's what he's there for. One thing I would be looking to everyone, actually, at this point, is if you have someone who has a physical blink that can either wrath or can quickly generate meter, I would suggest looking at them in terms of getting them up to par, at least like 3 or 4-star dive, because one of the Magicites you need to have a physical blink for, very much so.
Or a way to get haste off frequently.
Yes, it's the dumb lightning one, and I'm sure Newbie's gonna have a lot to say about that within the next 6 months.
So, I think the move, real quick, before we close out, and we, shelf the discussion for now, for a couple of weeks. Lightning. We dove Lightning. I'm just gonna straight up look at my Magicites team. Magicites teams?
Teams for Magicite.
Yeah, either way. We dove lightning. That was a good pick. Water. We dove edge. Also a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Fire. We didn't dive anybody. Lock is maybe. He's a hard maybe.
I think he's not the worst idea.
Yeah,
but you don't need to dive him right this second.
I think right now, like, I looked at his stuff, and I the decision the thought that I came to looking at his stuff is, it doesn't really help me do more damage.
You dove Barts, right?
I dove Barts. I might reconsider like the format of the team right here and take out Onion Knight and put in Barts.
Okay.
Because honestly, I wasn't really entrusting too much now that I had the chain going. So something in Bart's might actually, and just giving, you know, life siphons to everybody in the top rows might do more.
I don't know. I think Wrath and Trust is actually really powerful.
Yes.
You know, worry about that later.
We'll see. Ice. We didn't dive anybody, but that's
there
also
aren't
because
many people for ice.
Yeah, and also like my ice isn't great. I have.
Do you have anyone from 8 that does a lot of ice damage?
Adia.
Okay, besides Adia.
Like Renoa, is on this, but that's because of her BSB 1, which isn't really ice based. It just has ice on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
that's not a good reason.
Yeah, it's like if you brought Maria for fire damage. Like, it's not fire based.
Or Terra for water damage. But yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
That might be something you need to look into diving for later, is to get more physical ice.
Fun fact, a lot of my Magic teams have Ramza on it for History's Truth.
Yeah.
Wind. I am 100% diving Alphanod. I don't even know what Fujin's dives are.
I think she might be a little bit on the back burner compared to more of your physical people.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. We're going to see how this team does against the 4-star, and if it actually doesn't do too good, and I test out the physical team, and the physical team does swimmingly, we might just be swapping out for physical. Yeah, here's the thing. Squall, Ayame, Laguna are probably the best ice dives, yes, which is a fucked up thing to say about Laguna. I don't have any of that shit.
But I didn't hear anything of... Oh, physical ice dives, yes. I'm looking over at Lulu and going, but I have her USB, and it makes her do stupid amounts of damage.
Earth. Gladiolus is on a back burner sort of thing. Like, I don't like just the flat attack boost. Especially when he's already hitting like 7k a hit.
I don't think there are many people that just are worth diving per se for earth damage.
What is Ignis's dive? No, we don't know at all, do we?
No, I know what his dive is. It's a standard knight protection stuff, like cover and what have you.
Damn it. And Guy isn't really... He's there to imperil.
I was about to say, you have a lot of Memory Crystal 3s. You should dive him to 99. Just get him up there.
I'll think about it. He hasn't earned it yet.
Okay.
Dark is great. My Dark is fine. Sid Reigns is great. Vayne is like a thing to consider. Mainly, again, because of the factor of if the next one turns out to not be great, I can easily just switch him to physical. Bart's is a good earth dive. Yeah, I might switch out.
Yeah, since have access to Bart's dive and his USB, there's almost no reason not to have him on all of the elements that he can use that chain thing off of. Excuse me, chase thing off of. Especially since you have chains for some of those chases.
And Holy, you have suggested is not dive worthy on either of these characters for my team. And Agrius might just be swapped out for Marsh anyway.
Yep.
Yep. I think
that's a good point. Someone in the chat actually did bring up Marsh is a good option for Earth with his USB, which you don't have, but the USB because he can then use a Knight ability and then rev up everyone's casting speed in the front row, so they just start churning out more damage.
Galoof is on the Holy Magicite team to eat Black Fang and nothing else.
And by eat, you mean absorb.
Yes, devour. For those not familiar with Dark Magicite has a move that uses that 10 seconds.
9.5 seconds.
Pardon?
9.5.
It uses it at 10. Specifically, 10 seconds each time. But it uses a move where it insta-kills someone that is at the lowest health, and Gloof has a move that makes him invincible to all things. Forever. Well, not forever. For 30 seconds. And I utilize that to eat Black Fang.
You can also absorb the Black Fang. This is a little risky. Absorb the Black Fang by having someone die and then having a rise and then a wall immediately set up to go concurrently so that that person comes up and then is protected. But Gloof idea also works well. Also, I think Scott's level 99 record materia is just re-raise.
Yes.
So there are options of getting around it.
Either way, I might have a... Well, no, my week's gonna be busy. I had said it might not be bad to sit down and just look at my Magicite teams and see, make minor adjustments and stuff like that. But I don't.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take much to rapidly change how your Magicite outlook is, especially for you since you just dove Barts. One person can add or shave 10 or 15 seconds off of some of your Magicite times. When I was doing Hydra earlier, it was 52 seconds for a clear. I just cleared it while we were chatting in almost 30 seconds. So that's just because I got Onion Knight's Legend Materia and his USB. So it doesn't take too much to shift things around. I think you'll probably be able to sub 30 fire easily with Edge.
Yes. I sent you a picture earlier that was 45, and that was before I dove him.
Yeah. I think you can certainly shove things around and make it work.
Alright.
By the way, anyone here who, because Newbie hasn't chatted about it, there are a lot of things about there that for characters we haven't mentioned. If you're going to be looking at people for your diving, a lot of characters to look at for dives are characters that have trances. We only briefly talked about that. For example, if you have Terra's OSB, she's probably a good person to dive just because her trance is that good. So keep that in mind as you're going along.
Most trances are extremely
Totally
useful
worth it.
and don't only... Well, some only affect abilities, but a lot of them affect like break casts and stuff like that.
Yep.
There are ones that only affect abilities, such as Zidane's.
Which is still good.
Yes. Just note, before you dive somebody for one of those, that you need the Hones to back it up. So yeah. Zidane is, I believe, Thief Instant cast.
It's dumb. Did you want to do like 5 minutes of answering people's questions, or are we good to go? I didn't want to like make you stick around too long, but
no, it's fine. If anybody has any questions, then I'll give them like a minute to catch up the stream that they wanted to throw out before we signed off. While you have me and Krumb here, because I don't think my advice is bad, but it's always good to have a second opinion.
Yep. Most of my advice is going to be towards like what I would think be useful for Magicite stuff. So if you have a question, you're like, but I'm not doing Magicite, please preface that so that I know how to aim it.
Yes.
I just think Magicite clearing right now is one of the more not important, but things that most things are geared towards.
Yes. That is a very strong thing to consider, because I actually had a discussion with a couple of people the other day, and they were disregarding the benefit of stat buff duration and debuff duration, and it destroyed my mind to consider, like, how would anybody consider that bad? And then I realized that they were only talking about Magicite.
Exactly.
Pain with USB is fantastic for Magicite because... Or magic? Water,
damage.
fire.
It's just damage.
Fire Magicite, because... And we'll bring this up real quick for this. But she is one of those lucky people that gets herself...
A dual cast.
Yep. A dual cast. And
yeah.
Just Spellblades. It's not even like dual cast water. It is just Spellblades. So, even if you aren't bringing her to a Fire Magicite, and you instead bring her to an Ice weak boss, that's dual cast Snow Spell, baby. That's dual cast Flaming Twin Strike, Quad Strike.
Yeah, that's actually one thing I like a lot about Pain's thing, is just she can cover a lot of bases because she's Knight 5, Spellblade 5. So if you need someone to like step in and do a little bit of pinch hitting in terms of some kind of elemental damage, she can do it.
I frequently forget that Pain is Knight 5 because she's my go-to Spellblader.
Yeah. The Knight 5 is just a nice little thing to add in because I don't think anyone else in 10 is a Knight 5. I think the closest is like a 3. So she's covering a lot of bases.
Also, a very good thing to bring up on top of all the rest of that bullcrap. Her Legend Die gives her 9 Spellblade boost. Her Spellblade node gives her another 9% boost. The Dark Knight node gives her 3% versus weakness. And Gladiator gives her 3% sword. So
yeah.
That's a 24... No, that's not even right.
It's a lot.
No, yeah, 24. 24% increase just from her dive, as long as you're using a sword and hitting weakness.
Yeah, she's going to get a lot out of the dive just based on that for Spellblade damage in general. She's really going to go nuts against water weak enemies, or not even water weak, but just enemies that are neutral to water or weak with that USB. So yeah. I think she's a pretty good person to dive.
Yeah, to increase Pain's versatility. She also has Sharpshooter. Just, I don't mention these things because they don't synergize with her dive. And we're talking about dives right now. But, yeah. Yes, like Pain is one of the most versatile offensive people that doesn't take like a shot to everything because of their versatility.
I would even say that Pain's one of those people, oh, someone just mentioned in chat, one of those people that you could look at if you don't have any breaks and you're hurting for someone to fill in like a spot for a couple months, that you could dive them by themselves. I'm not saying it's a great option, but it's something you should consider.
It's an option. I wouldn't. It's one of those options that I would never actually super recommend, but it's there.
Yeah, if you are desperate, then it might not be a bad idea. Much like we don't have it because I've already been grumbling about it. The Master is one of those characters that you don't necessarily need to have any of his breaks for him to deal an absolute ridiculous amount of monk damage. So
well, he's just dual cast monk.
He's dual cast monk, but he gets a ridiculous boost to his monk damage through all his stuff in his 3, 4, and 5-star dives.
Okay.
He's a bruiser.
Yeah, for my own purposes, I am just going to take a look at Lunith real quick.
Yep.
6% Dragoon, 6% Darkness, 6% Spellblade, hey, I'm a jack of all trades, masters of none.
But he's a master of like 3.
10% wind and go fast with 9% wind and resist wind.
Yeah, so for those who are either late or also grumbling along with me, it's been rumored we're getting the Master's Dive in the next one event, mainly because we kind of need to get his 5-star dive because they're releasing his Legend Materia record at the same time, but I'm not holding my breath. If I get it, great, because I've got a couple of his relics. We'll see. He to me is like a good non-elemental damage source just because his whole thing is, alright, I'm a dual cast Life Bane and punch you in the face a bunch. That's all I do.
I like how they did the Onion Knight's grid different from everybody else's because he actually just has two materias.
I really like Onion Knight's grid because you can skip a whole bunch of it if you're only going physical or only going magic. You don't have to get everything. Like, there's a bunch of little stuff there off to the right-hand side at the bottom. You don't have to go down those paths to get those things if you don't want them.
Yep. And also, you don't have to spend a bunch of motes on him if you're only going magic because his Legend Dive links off his magic grid. And not his physical grid at all. You can skip the physical grid entirely and Legend Dive the Onion Knight.
Yeah, so the Onion Knight's weird. I would personally suggest doing all of his 3 and 4-star modes anyway because he gets a crap ton of stuff out of it, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. I love my weird little good boy.
Yeah, I do too. Ever since I got his cloak, which makes him cast twice instantly at the beginning of fights. It's been really useful.
You know, I'm curious. Okay, hold up. What? What the fuck, Theodore?
What's up with Theodore? Also, what? Or, huh? I forget which his catchphrase is. It's one or the other.
But, like, this is actually kind of really good. But different, you know?
Oh, yeah. He's... Okay, so Theodore's whole thing in the after years, the actual game, is that he is, like, the perfect balance between fighter and white mage. He found the dead center between the two, so he's going to be doing things where he does both of those.
God, yeah, that could proc off of his BSB command, and then there's just 2 percentile heals going out.
Yeah. He's supposed to be dealing damage, reasonable damage, but not as much as the pure damage dealers, but at the same time healing people healing people up.
Yeah,
so
I love
he does
this,
work.
I love this thing with 4 in that secretly 4 has all the best tanks.
There's a lot of good tanks. I don't know who the best tank is off the top of my head.
Oh, and this one I think bears mentioning as far as good dives. Papalymo. It just dual cast fire.
Yeah, and it's not like Papalymo has access to an amazing BSB that does fire.
But yeah, I think we should probably wrap up. I'm gonna give one last 1-minute warning. Does anybody else have any final questions before I send Krumb off and I do my outro for the Torment video?
The what video? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, my wrap-up comment here before I skedaddle is all of what we talked about tonight is about what Newbie has stuff for and why he's looking at certain characters. If you have characters you're looking at and you're not sure, there's plenty of different places you can go to ask questions about, or you can just look to see if that dive is going to really help you out with whatever you're doing, whether it be Magicites, Torment dungeons, or what have you. If it's something that you think is really going to help out, try the character out first, and if you think that it's going to be a good fit, then try the dive.
Yeah, that's literally what I did. I got all that water stuff. I actually tried out both characters simultaneously in the water fire Magicite, and just, well, Edge is the better character, so that's probably one I'm going to dive.
I actually was in a spot similar to Newbie where I had 2 characters I was looking at diving for water damage, but mine was Titus and Pain. I went with Titus because I have his OSB and I now have his end water startup thing, and he just deals an enormous amount of damage. The only reason I'm not diving Pain as well is because that means I'd have 4 people at 5-star dives in 10, and I cannot do that because that game infuriates me at times. I love it, but it's just, I can't do it. It's just not going to happen.
Well,
all right, I'm going to run out now. I'll see you later.
Yeah. I was going to send you
Have a good night, everyone. If you have more questions for Newbie, I'm sure he'd be willing to answer them on his Twitter page.
You know, sorry, I accidentally hit the disconnect button, but I think Krumb got his idea out. Yeah, the Krumb beat me to it about the Twitter suggestion. I'm on Twitter at WanderingNewbie at Twitter. You know, if you have a question, send it to me. Let me do that outro, and then give. Don't head out just yet, because I do have a couple statements to say at the end of the video about upcoming schedule stuff. Actually, fuck it. I'm just gonna say it here. That way, it's in the video. But you know, the full stream video. Friday, this Friday, 26th, buying a condo. That's my closing day for my condo. Streaming's gonna be a little. I'll probably be saying this on every stream up until then. Streaming's gonna be a little hectic after that point, just for a little bit, maybe like a week or 2. For sure, there's going to be a stream on Thursday of Fire Emblem. There's going to be a stream on Friday of Zelda, maybe a little later because that is the closing day. There's going to be a stream Saturday for the Dress of 9 event. There's going to be a stream on Sunday for Type 0. Now, those days may swap, mattering on when the bonus battles drop. Pay attention to Twitter. Pay attention to scheduling stuff. I'll mention it. Thank you for the follow. And finally, Monday is going to be Crystal Tower, which apparently is dropping on Wednesday. After that, though, after that Monday stream, I probably won't stream for a week. I may, because, you know, there's not going to be, that's when Magicite drops, there's not going to be an event that randomly comes out of nowhere that I need to stream. I will probably be taking the week off just so I can get all my moving and everything done, and then we will pick back up whenever, and, yeah, that. So yeah, I just want to make that known so that everybody knows, and I'll probably be mentioning this all throughout the week up until that Monday. So, I'm going to do an outro, an actual outro. So, that was it for the 13 Torment. Final Torment, for now. Japan has actually got issued new Torments, but that's not for 6 months. I don't gotta worry about that now. And I guess that's when my follow-up is I guess I won't see you all for Torments until those new Torments drop. So until then, I'll see you next time.